Kristen just told me because of winter, his skin on his hands is coarse.
Yeah, even when it just starts to get cold now, my skin turns like Brittney Spears' kids' faces and gets coarse.
You need Brittney Spears.
This is my house. If I want to come in here and give you lotion for your face because it is coarse, and all you tell me, no, it's fine, it's fine. No, it's not fine.
Now, will you...
She's right, it's not fine.
Will your wife go in and lotion you without your knowledge? Your skin is coarse.
It's quite possible. In fact, likely.
And would you say, no, it's fine, it's not fine.
It's fine.
It's not fine.
Make fun of her behind her back.
Did you hear that they made fun of her? Well, they did an impression of her on Saturday Night Live this weekend, and her publicist is not, or her agent is not happy about it.
Who, Britt?
Yeah, Brittany. This is the impression that they did. One of the players on the show did this.
I'm beyond touched that my book, The Woman in Me, hit #1 on the New York Times bestseller list, to say the least. My audiobook is read by the amazing Michelle Williams, but she wasn't the only one who wanted to read it. Here's a peek at some of the other actors who auditioned to read The Woman in Me.
And then it was a list of, that was the comedy. I thought the impression
Nailed
was
it.
right on the money.
I think her name is Chloe Fineman. She is amazingly talented.
Well,
Sit down, Brittany's publicist.
Yeah.
Brittany's publicist says, boy, SNL is going down the drain. They keep getting worse and worse. No wonder y'all reached out to me to get Brittany on the show. SNL is on life support. You're all pathetic, and Chloe Fineman isn't funny. That's from Cade Hudson, who took to social media to slam Saturday Night Live, as well as Chloe.
That's not Leave Brittany Alone guy, is it?
No, it's her.
No, that's her
her
manager, publicist, or whatever. But it's accurate. That's how she sounds now. If you watch any video with her, she sounds like a child.
We have a comparison. This is actually her from last week.
So yesterday, I felt like it was the beginning of fall. I pulled out all of my jackets, and then the next day, it was really hot. It was very confusing. Anyhow, this summer has been so much fun for me. I learned so much. I laughed so much. I swam so much. But the most important thing that I did learn was that life has so many spontaneous gifts at each moment.
I have to say, I think the impression is right on.
I think she's Michael Jacksoning it.
Oh, you think?
She's regressing in age.
Going younger.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I think the older she gets, the more she becomes like a child.
I see what you're saying.
Because she's confused by weather.
Exactly. Yeah, she's confused by life. But also she sounds and acts more like a child. You know, at the end, like before he died, I mean, Michael Jackson gave that crazy interview with the what's his name? Bashir.
Oh, Martin Bashir.
Yes, where he followed him around and stuff and just had this. I mean, everything in that interview was insane. I mean, Michael Jackson's climbing trees. He's like, you don't climb trees. No.
I remember that. Trees. I remember when he climbed that tree. That's right.
Everyone should climb trees. It's like, no.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm an adult.
I remember that.
Hang on. We just got an email from Michael Jackson's publicist. Biggie's not funny. No wonder Biggie is circling the drain. Biggie has never been funny. No wonder you reached out to have him on your show.
This show is on life support. It's awful.
Yeah.
You think Biggie's funny? Huh.
This is terrible. This is terrible. I'll tell you this. I had an incredibly unpleasant experience on Saturday with a young woman. Unpleasant with a young woman. I told Kristen about this. The reason it reminded me of it, she sounded like Brittney Spears. I was at a great event. There was a grand opening of a place called Tombstone Custom Cycles, and they had it's a motorcycle place where you can go and get your motorcycle like souped up. You know, it really, they design, they paint, they redo. I'm not a big motorcycle guy.
No.
Okay?
None of us in this room is.
No, but I was very impressed with them. And at one point, actually, and it's so interesting that myself and a guy named Rocky, who is our promotions assistant, was out there. And we were doing our, meeting folks and spinning the wheel, and had a nice day. Chilly, but a lot of people came out. And a lot of motorcycles sitting around. And at one point, people started to gather, like in a circle. And Rocky said to me, something's going on here, something.
Something's about to go down.
Something's happening here. And I said, you think so? And he's like, yeah, look at this crowd. They are getting around. They all like encircled one motorcycle. And I said, what do you think's going on? And then they did.
What do you think it is, Rocky?
Rocky said, I don't know what's happening here, but something. He's got a keener eye than I do. I don't really.
Yeah, you're handing out stickers. You're glad handing.
That's what I did. stickers, koozies. We spun the wheel. And when everybody started to gather around, Rocky said something's going on. Well, then they did it. They fired up the bike.
Oh.
And that was the loudest motorcycle I've ever heard in my life. And they kept on, you know. And I'm not as big a motorcycle guy as some. And I said to Rocky, my ears, can you put your fingers in my ears? He's my assistant. Help. Well, he was my assistant out there. I said, do you have any earplugs? He said, no. I said, you didn't bring
Start cutting up T-shirts. I need to jam them in my ear.
Something had to be done. It was incredible. And the crowd loved it. They were like, yeah.
More.
They loved it. And I was like, what is...
I can't hear anything.
What is going on?
Help.
Now,
I think I see blood from one of your ears.
it's unreal how loud it was. And it just showed again how weak I am.
Yeah.
Not even being able to be around it. You know, I said, I've got a splitting headache now.
I'm going to sit in the truck.
I had to go sit in our van, and people were like, I want to spin the wheel. I'm sitting in the van. So, can't until they stop.
Talk to Rocky.
Right. I left Rocky out there to brave it. Prior to that, though, about 30 minutes early, this is the unpleasant experience I had with a young woman. She came just walking down the street, and she was filming herself as she was walking down the street. And she was dressed to the nines, and she came walking.
Really?
Yeah. And she came walking over with a younger person that I assume was her son. He was about 15, I'd say. And she came walking over and filmed herself the entire way. And she goes, what y'all got going on here?
Oh, yeah.
And I said, we're spinning the wheel. It's a motorcycle grand opening. She's like, I'm spinning the wheel. And she filmed herself the entire time doing it, you know. And so that was all fine. And she won. She won a T-shirt.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I gave her the T-shirt. And as she continued to film, she goes, I don't know who y'all are. I don't have any idea who you are.
I'm live. I'm live at this motorcycle place with these people. This is Radius. I don't know who they are.
She goes, I don't know who you are. Who are you? And I said, I'm Chris Kelly, baby.
Say hi to my fans.
Yeah. And I
say hi to my fans.
I was saying,
awkwardly waving.
That's it. I was like lumped into it. I was like, hey.
I've got 38 people on here watching live.
Yes. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it was so awkward for me because I don't know that world really. And I'm just like waving at the camera. And she's like, oh, yeah. And she goes, I'm going to go get some food. They had a food truck and everything. She's like, we're having a good time out here at Tombstone Custom Cycles. And I said, well, you just walked up. I was contracted to be here. You just walked up, and now you're doing something. She's like entertaining the crowd.
She put on a better show than you.
She's putting on quite a show. And then
I'll wear this T-shirt to sleep in. That's no, we like you to wear.
We wear it out.
This will be great to sleep in, so no one can say it. That's not why we give them out.
She said, I don't know who you are. I said, you don't have to say that again. You just keep on saying. And then later, like 15 minutes later, she came back. Now she had a barbecue sandwich, and her son had a barbecue sandwich. And she said to me, somebody just told me you on the radio. And I said, well, I told you that. And she goes, I don't listen to you at all. But she goes, but I listen to your partner, 98.7. And I said, that is our chief competition. That is
great.
That is our I said, that is our number one competitor here locally in this market.
They play everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're aware.
Yeah, they do.
We're well aware.
At any point make eye contact with her son? I mean, was he like trying to signal you that he was a hostage of any sort?
Well,
or was he just giving you like you could be my next stepdad vibe?
He just said almost nothing. And she kept saying, I love 98.7. And I was like, all right, that's not our...
Read your shirt, sweetheart.
Yeah.
You see the numbers?
Ooh, ooh. For some reason, she thought we were partners. She goes, that's y'all's partner. I said, that is not our partner. That is not our partner.
Can y'all play some Pink?
No,
we cannot. We are contractually obligated to play classic rock music.
And you know how into it I get. How when people... I am very competitive that I want us to be. And she just was not having any of that and insulting me over and over and over again. And then her son came up eating a barbecue sandwich, and he's got it in his mouth. And he says, Mama says, I got to spin the wheel. All I want to do is eat. And
Which one's your mama?
Was his skin coarse?
Oh, he was coarse. He was coarse.
Can I have one of them towels? I need to wipe my...
I love your towel.
Yeah.
We had new Biggie sweat towels. That was Chris Demm's idea. That was a great idea.
And it actually happened.
It did. And that, I'll tell you, that was flawless. We had, for the first time that I had seen them, I had seen it once before, but this is the first time we had them on site. It's a sweat towel.
Or towel.
Or just towel.
That's what I've been telling people.
Yeah, and it was great. There were a bunch of them laying there. Well, the woman, who's that? Who's that? And I was like, that's my partner, Biggie. I don't know who that. I know you don't know who that.
Can he play some Pink for me?
No, he will not play Pink for me. And Chris Demm had the idea, and the execution was excellent. It's a great likeness of Biggie on the towel.
It's cool. I like it.
It looks very nice. A lot of people liked him. This woman did. And the kid says, I just want to eat. Mama said I got to spin the wheel.
Just wipe his mouth with a towel.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
with Biggie's face.
I'm gonna have one of them towels.
And he put his greasy fingers up on our wheel and spun it. And he won a T-shirt. So
Good
then I had to give out
Lord.
2 T-shirts to these 2 people who don't know who we are.
Woo, 987. It's not.
It's infuriating.
It's not us.
It is
Read the shirt.
infuriating. I cannot stand that. Read, exactly. Please read your shirt. So it was upsetting. It was but other than that, I mean, everybody there couldn't have been nicer, except for them who just didn't know who we were and were doing their own.
Did she just waltz off?
Yeah.
Live streaming?
After about 20 minutes there, 30 minutes there.
If you see somebody just pretty much with a phone up looking like they're taking a selfie, it's probably FaceTime with somebody, but a lot of times they're live on their TikTok, their whatever, and they just walk around doing that, giving tours of what their day is.
She was doing that, just walking down the street and just walk. I saw her coming. I said to Rocky, I said, look out, we got somebody coming here. We got something happening here.
It's gotcha media.
Yeah. This is that gotcha media doing this stuff. And they came along, and it was a whirlwind, and all through the whole thing. So not the greatest experience with her. Yeah. Everybody else was really great. Did you see, I know you're into this, and Biggie was the first person to say to me, and I think the only person I've heard say, he thinks Travis and Taylor are in for the long haul. He thinks this is going to be a real thing. I think
so.
Most people thought they'd be done within 6 months, but Biggie says, no, this is happening.
Yeah, I like it still.
Now, she was performing in Argentina, and last week, a lot of the question was, will he go to Argentina? It was hinted at that he might go to Argentina. Well, he did, and stood right beside the stage as she gave her concert, and 2 things happened. One, she changed one of the lyrics to her song. The song is called Karma, and in the lyrics, she put, like, my man with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Step by step, from town to town, we got justice. Karma is a queen. Karma takes all my friends to the summit. Karma is the guy on the Chiefs, coming straight home to.
The crowd loved it.
Oh, the internet loved it.
Yeah, and he lit up. He lit up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, well, he was standing next to Taylor's dad.
Is that who that was?
That's Taylor's dad, who also has now wearing his backstage pass. He's now wearing a Chiefs lanyard around. So the family's even all.
Oh, they're on board.
Yeah. So the family, and that's who he stood next to the whole concert. So when he changed the lyric, they had his reaction and the dad's reaction.
I know somebody who sat next to Taylor's dad on a plane one time before she was famous. Yeah, before she was famous. And he was handing out CDs of Taylor and saying, "This is my daughter. She's trying to make it in the business." And that
They apparently, that parents really went all in for her.
What did your friend do with the CD?
Tossed it. As soon as he got to the airport,
of course.
He just dropped it at the.
That's what we all do
at the airport.
Hey man, you think you can absolutely trash?
I didn't realize this. She played our barbecue festival here when she was 16, 17, and my wife's cousin is in charge of the barbecue festival. And I said to her recently, it's like, who's the most famous person you ever had? She goes, well, Taylor Swift. I said, nuh-uh, come on.
You were here.
She goes, well, you saw her. We invited you to see her. I don't know.
Did you leave out early that day?
Yeah, I get there. I get a sandwich at 10:30 in the morning, and I go. I'm there from the open at 9, and by 10:30 I have my sandwich, and I go. And, apparently Taylor played, and I said, nuh-uh. Taylor was there when she was like 16 or 17.
Yeah.
I said, what's she like? She said, really nice. Back then, she was real nice.
Yeah.
Apparently, she's still real nice.
I think we're entering the stretch, though, where it could get rocky.
Oh, you think already? It's
Well, here's why. Because, everything is timed out perfect for them. She finished her tour up. It seemed like they met. Maybe, we don't really know exactly when. But then she's been able to go to the games because she hasn't been on tour.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now she's starting the world tour. Well, it timed out just perfectly in the beginning because he's on a bye week.
That's right.
Well, now we're entering a stretch where he's all football.
They're both working.
Yes.
Yeah, the next several weeks of the NFL season are it.
And he's going to the playoffs,
Yeah.
maybe the Super Bowl. He's going to be working for a while. She is too.
Exactly. So she's going to be. So really, they just have to dodge the next 2 to 3 months, and then I think they're okay.
By February, they should be all right after the Super Bowl.
And I'm sure there'll be I'm sure there'll be a holiday break for her.
You'd think.
I would think.
Maybe she'll come back and see him play in the late season games.
Mm-hmm.
One thing she had a problem with down in Argentina was people were throwing things on the stage, as was going on so often this summer, with people throwing things at artists. But in this case, they're all gifts. They were all nice, flowers and things that the fans wanted her to have. But finally, she had to say, we can't dance up here with these things on the stage.
Just because communication means having gentle, healthy boundaries, it really freaks me out when stuff gets thrown on the stage. Because if it's on the stage, then a dancer can trip on it. And I love that you brought presents, and that is so nice. But just, can you please not throw them on the stage? I love you so much.
What a beautiful message.
What am I going to do with this teddy bear?
Taylor has. Yeah.
Can I just...
How do you do that?
Can I leave it now?
What do I do now?
How do you do that?
Stuff it under my shirt?
Yeah, what am I
Just
supposed
walk out with it?
What am I supposed to do? I brought this for you.
Here.
I don't know if you have a gift. Listen, my very first concert, I threw roses at Kenny Rogers. And
what?
Yeah. Well, Mama said I could throw it up there.
They sell them in the concourse for $1.
Yeah, and Mama got it and said, throw it up on the stage.
Well, I don't think we can use the language of what he called you anymore. I think it's frowned upon.
Yeah.
He made sing "Lady" to you.
Made some reference to it. Put the spotlight on me. I was 10 years old. They put the
Lady
spotlight on.
I don't know. Let's see who's throwing roses.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that boy.
No.
He kept picking them up and giving them to people would come out. He'd just hand them off to the person. They'd take them backstage. And my mother said that's probably a waste of money because I bet they throw all those roses away backstage.
Yeah.
Probably.
Unless they put them in, maybe they put them in his tour bus or something. I don't know. Nonetheless, that's how the world tour has gotten started here.
You imagine somebody like the Elvis I mean, there are still people who do, interact with their fans. But if you watch old Elvis Presley movies, remember he would go and he would hand out scarves and kisses.
Yeah.
To everybody in the front row.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the women in the front row. I bet it was 50 per show.
Yeah.
And it was usually during I Can't Help Falling in Love with You, I think. It was always one song that he did.
Is that right?
And he would hand out scarves and kisses.
Do artists still do that? Well, they'll go out.
You'll see sometimes, like I think, like Usher, at his Vegas show, I believe he brings an audience member up. I think you see that now more. You'll see an audience member be pulled out of the audience and then kind of sang to. But I don't think you see artists going around handing things out anymore.
Yeah, there was no buffer between Elvis and the fans.
Right,
yeah. There was no security. I mean, there may have been security, but you didn't see them.
Yeah.
Several years ago, I took my wife to see Michael Bublé, and he went out into the audience. And they showed it on the big screen, and he was like hugging and high-fiving. And one woman grabbed him on the butt, which I think was planned because he was like, what? And it looked like it was a planned thing. But he was out in the middle of the audience for sure. And then I heard, what did I read? That Elton John had somebody always sit next to him on the piano bench when he was doing a certain song, but one person got too handsy, and he said that ruined it.
When I saw him a year and a half ago,
he didn't do it.
No one was on there.
He stopped it because of that. It was about 3 or 4 years ago. Somebody did something he didn't like, and he said that ruins it, so I can't do it anymore. So he didn't have anybody up after that. One more thing we talk about on this program from time to time, and this has to do with I don't know her. She's an actress named Tisha Campbell. I guess she's
she was on Martin, right?
Okay, yeah. She was on Martin, and she's a long list of stuff.
Yeah, she's steady work.
She did something we've talked about before on this program involving a relative who had passed away. Funny story here. Jeff's on the line, and you're talking about Elvis going to concerts and putting on scarves and stuff like that for the fans. Go ahead.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Great, thanks.
Hey, my mom, when she was young, unmarried, was kissed by Elvis in the front row in Lexington at the Civic Center before Elvis got famous.
Ouch. Wow. And I'm sure she remembers.
And there's no pictures, probably.
Oh, no, probably not.
No pictures, but she remembered it, and she told us.
Yeah? What'd she say about the king and his kissing technique?
She said, "Thank you very much."
Exactly.
Very nice.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being one of those women?
Elvis loved his fans. He loved the ladies.
Imagine being one of the women kissed by Elvis on the front row. These days, I don't think any artist would do that. To actually kiss women.
No.
There's too much trouble involved with it. You know, first of all, it's bodily fluids.
Yeah.
You don't know the person, and then secondly,
They could come back
they
and
could
say that was
accuse
an
you.
unwanted kiss.
Exactly. So you don't want that either. This was what the actress Tisha Campbell did. Her dad passed away, and they were cleaning out. She and her siblings were cleaning out his house, and they found a big stack of porno DVDs.
Oh, no.
And she said, "I think this is hilarious." She's like, "My dad would laugh at this." But she said, here's why you have to have somebody you trust go and clean out all your porn before.
It's a cleaning service, quote unquote.
You get somebody you trust, not that close to you, to go in and clean it out. She put some of them up online on her social media.
The titles?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
White hose with bros.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, the video, that video is very funny. It's her and all her brothers and sisters cracking up because, and one thing she said, which I thought was hilarious, she goes, "No wonder he wouldn't get rid of this DVD player." Apparently they constantly told him, get rid of this old DVD player. And he'd say, no, I like it.
Yep. Yeah. Well, now, I think that'll be less of a problem going on because you got to clean your phone. You
got to wipe
it's on
the
this
phone.
thumb drive.
Yeah, you got to get rid of it.
It's on Grandpa's thumb drive.
It's the law. A comedian who passed away, we've played this before, talked about just that. When after you die
on VHS, right?
Yeah, you have to have a cleaner come in and get rid of that stuff. His name is Bill Hicks.
Pornography's gotten a really bad name in our country. And I'd like to state for the record right now, I love pornography. Love it. I have tapes that are pure f***ing art, I'm telling you. People f***ing suck in every imaginable position, the finest looking women f***ing suck in. I love it. For the record. That is one of my big fears in life, that I'm going to die, and my parents are going to have to come clean out my apartment. Find that porno wing I've been adding on to for years. There'll be 2 funerals that day. Just see my mom going through my stuff. "Look, honey, here's Bill when he was a Cub Scout. Look how cute my baby is. His little short pants and his little hat. Look how cute my baby was. I wonder what's in this box over here. Rear entry, volume 1 through 40. The only guy going through the gates of heaven with his mom spanking him. Mom, they were on sale.
That's the late Bill Hicks. That could have actually happened to him.
It could have happened.
Yeah, may he rest. I did like that Tisha Campbell put, white hose with bros seemed to be his favorite. Yeah. That's right on top of the pile, I guess.